Hey folks, this is Kevin Guillen with Wilderness Athlete. Here today just to give a bit of an introduction to our whole pre-workout line in Brute Force. We recently just released our latest formula called Brute Force Alpha. With 3 pre-workouts now, I think it only makes sense to kind of give you a little bit of a introduction to what the differences are in these pre-workout formulas, how to use them, who they're for, how we use them. And why we have 3. You know, a lot of folks normally see one pre-workout that's sort of a one-size-fits-all approach, and that's not how we see it. So just to give you a quick introduction, so Brute Force Alpha, what we really wanted to accomplish with this formula was that higher level of stimulus, that higher level of amino acid performance than your normal pre-workout that you see in our line. A lot of folks out there are training in different ways. You know, you're not just a marathon runner, you're a guy that wants to be lifting weights, you know, high intensity exercise intervals in the gym. You're gonna see a lot more of that kind of performance from Brute Force Alpha. So you have 200 milligrams of caffeine. We also doubled the amount of citrulline malate and beta alanine in here. So with those elevated amino acids, you are going to see a lot more of that nitric oxide production, you know, performance out of it. Really helps with elevated blood flow. A lot of people typically experience, you know, with more beta alanine, more of that kind of tingly feeling, which, you know, some people love it, some people don't. You know, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all product for everybody. I've been a real big fan of it. You know, I do CrossFit 3 to 5 times a week, and in a lot of workouts when we're going for, you know, low rep volume, high output, this really seems to come into play for me pretty well. I wouldn't necessarily suggest this type of formula for those who are trying to, you know, maintain a certain moderate heart rate for an hour. You know, where you're going on a long run or a long hike, or, you know, you're kind of that moderate to low intensity type of exercise training. Another thing to note that we've always been, you know, really keen on is that everybody experiences a different response to caffeine. Everyone experiences a different response to different stimulants as well. So, you know, for the guy that says this is the only pre-workout that works for him, others may say that this is just too much. You know, there's just a lot of difference in caffeine sensitivity out there amongst users. So it's all kind of about what, you know, what's working for you. That's why we want to have different options. So Brute Force Alpha is really our newest one. The original, so like the standard Brute Force, you're only at 125 or 120 milligrams of caffeine. So very moderately caffeinated. It's not that type of pre-workout that you're gonna feel just overstimulated, your skin's flush, your skin's itchy, you feel like you've got those cobwebs in your hair. This is the type of pre-workout you can use every day of the week and not feel like you're totally fried. It elevates a lot of the restrictive qualities that other, you know, that training has. You know, muscle fatigue, lactic acid buildup. The formula here is really keyed in on helping you with those, but not giving you so much to where you feel like, God, I don't feel well, to even where I can't train or my heart rate is jacked through the roof. I've used Brute Force, just our standard Brute Force we've all have for years. It's really the go-to. For those workouts where you need a little extra boost, we've traditionally just put 2 scoops in. That's kind of now not really what you need to do if you've got Brute Force Alpha on deck, but if this is all you've got, 2 scoops will also treat you really well too. And then we have our caffeine-free version. I think a lot of people shy away from this sometimes if they're like just caffeine junkies. I myself, I love caffeine, and we almost all do, but there's plenty of times when your only opportunity for a workout is in the evening, you know, or you've had plenty of coffee and caffeine throughout the day and you don't need any more. You're just looking for more of that amino acid boost and some of those herbals to help you with intensity and you know, adaptogenic, you know, how you adapt to stress and how you bring that extra level of performance to a workout. Our cameraman behind the camera, Tom, was just telling me moments ago, he's really only ever used this because his days and mornings are so busy. The only times he can work out are in the evenings. I personally feel like when you take this caffeine-free pre-workout, there is such a boost. We do have a little bit of a different formula in this from an amino acid standpoint than the others, that you don't really, it almost feels stimulating. You don't have that same neurological like jolt that caffeine would give you, so you're not going to have an issue in terms of like sleeping at night, but you do feel that intensity you're able to bring to a workout. I've used it myself. I tend to use all of them in different circumstances. They all have their purpose. You know, we were really on the fence when we started to develop Brute Force Alpha. We had these two, you know, for a long time, and we did still hear from a lot of our customers that were looking for something more, you know, something a little bit more just caffeinated, frankly, and just something greater. And we kind of struggled with that for a little while because most of us are like, you know, we go to the gym a lot. We're big believers in consistency over intensity. You know, I want to be able to hit the gym 5-6 days a week even sometimes. And if I was to do something that was to raise my heart rate and just my performance to a level where I just felt kind of that adrenal fatigue where the next day I needed to have a rest day, that wasn't really what I was after. But I think with Brute Force Alpha, where we really landed on this is just a great happy medium. It's not too much caffeine. I mean, 200 milligrams of caffeine is really a really well dosed, if you will, amount of caffeine. Niacin in there is very mild. Everyone has a little bit of different sensitivity to niacin, so again, you have to pay attention with how you feel on it and where the right product is for you in that regard. But I'm so far, and from all of our people here, we've got a lot of guys testing it and a lot of people using it almost every day. The response has been awesome. You know, I definitely do feel a more sustained level of endurance in the gym. I do feel more of that level of fatigue, that lactic acid buildup that just kind of makes you want to quit after 5 or 6 reps just seems to be delayed more to like 8 or 9 or 10 reps. The mental side of working out as well is definitely really, really critical here. So, you know, beta alanine is really important in that. Its relationship with carnosine is really coming into play more from a mental standpoint and a mental fatigue standpoint, rather than just saying, well, we're supporting your muscles. We're also helping support, you know, cognitive function and cognitive resistance to fatigue. So what I wanted to really give an overview is there's an intent, there's a use, there's a purpose to all these products here. I think that we always believe in you guys paying attention to your own bodies and health in response to these products. So you've got to see what the right fit is for you. Our customer service is also great. If you wanted to call and just have a quick discussion with what you're looking to get out of your workout, how you're training, what your responses have been in the past to other types of products. We love being able to speak with you guys on that stuff. So hopefully this gives a little overview. We've got a lot more information on our product page. We're also going to put some information in this product page to other journal articles, some studies that are cited from some of the ingredients here, so you can learn a lot more into the weeds about, you know, what we're using and why. Hopefully that helps.